Hello everybody and welcome to today's class. We're going to be starting with a nice wide second position, so turning the legs out from the hips, taking the arms just out in front of you, and just make sure that you set those shoulders down away from the ears. Okay, so coming into our squat, remembering to stick the butt out a little bit, drawing the belly button into the spine, so we're not letting the pelvis come too far forward, so drawing that in there. So we're just going to start here. My knees are over my big toes, but they're not too far over the toes in the sense that my weight is backwards. Therefore, I'm trying to center the weight through the heels. Did that make sense? Not quite sure. In line with the toes, but the weight is pressed through the heels. Okay, so I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to come down a little bit lower into my squat position, and then I'm going to breathe out, pushing into my heels, coming up, but not all the way up. Dropping down, breathing in, and breathing out again, coming up. And I want to be squeezing through my butt, so both glutes. And as I'm pressing into my heels, I want to be engaging those inner thighs. So coming down and breathing out, pushing up just to here. I mean, I can already feel my inner thighs working, and I can also feel my glutes. It may take you a little while to get into the groove, to activate, especially if it's early in the morning and the body's like, what's going on? What is this? So coming down. If you're sitting down on a chair, or I often say sitting down on the toilet, you're really trusting that something is there to catch you, but unfortunately there isn't. So anyway, we're going to keep coming down nice and low, and then coming up. Making sure those shoulders are still relaxed, breathing in to drop, breathing out to come up. Let's go for just another 3 like this, coming down. So as you can see, it's not a huge big movement, but everything's engaged the whole time, which is what makes it fabulous. Okay, last time. Now from here, I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, and I'm going to come to basically a kind of neutral position with the spine. And I'm going to take my hands behind my head, opening the elbows. I can really feel my legs. From here, I'm just going to drop down to one side, letting my ear come down to the floor, and then I'm going to come back to center. Then the other side, dropping over to the side, and coming back to center. So hello, obliques, and also still hello legs. So again, coming down and coming up. I'm getting a big stretch into the opposite side, as well as this crunch into the side that I'm moving towards. Okay, let's go for another 3 like so. My legs are definitely on fire. Last one on each side. You can come down as far as you like. Just try and keep that tailbone tucked under. Holding here, we're just going to do some little pulses up and down. Oh yes, oh yes. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, relaxing the shoulders, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, coming all the way up. Oh my goodness. Keeping the legs where they are, I'm just going to lengthen my arms out to the side, and I'm going to bring this little finger down to my opposite toe. So just coming across the body and down. I'm going to look up towards the ceiling if I can, big twist, opening through the chest, and then coming up, hopefully not falling over, and going to the other side, twisting through the body and coming down. Now with this particular stretch, do not feel you have to get down to the floor with your hand. I prefer if you keep your legs straight, so don't bend the knees, and just come down to wherever you can and just try and get a little bit of an opening. If you're stiff for your thoracic joint, the middle part of your spine responsible for the rotation, you may find this quite hard. And for me on one side, I really feel a little bit like grandma, like I'm like, ugh. So that's fine. Just do what you can, but in order to help improve, we want to keep the legs straight. So straight legs. Let's do one more time. So opening the arms, twisting, coming down. So like here, that's cool. Just try and get this nice twist going on through the body though. Coming up. As you can see, I've got a little bit more range on that side, which you might not have been able to see because you might have been upside down. Okay. And coming up on that side too. And let's just go for some just nice gentle shoulder rolls. Just sitting the shoulders back and down. Okay, I think we're feeling alive. Let's come to a nice parallel position. I'm going to come to the back of my mat. I'm going to go for a few roll downs. So feet hip width and parallel. Glutes and inner thighs should now be activated so they can also come and get involved in the roll down. I'm relaxing my hands and relaxing the shoulders. I'm going to breathe in on the breath out, nodding the chin to the chest, rolling my shoulders forward, slowly coming all the way down to the floor. One vertebra at a time, letting my head just hang heavy, really trying to create space in this lower back here. Opening up, breathing in, and then on the breath out, pushing into my heels, tucking my tailbone under. So here comes glutes, here comes inner thighs, press, 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 activate, activate, coming all the way up, and then just rolling those shoulders back and down. Let's go again. Now we know what we're doing. Chin to chest, rolling the shoulders forward. You'll find that I do include these in every single class. I believe they are one of the most amazing body exercises sequences you can do. Relaxing the head, opening through the lower back. Again, it doesn't matter if you can't put your hands flat on the floor, but I prefer it if you keep your legs as straight as you can and just let gravity just pull you down. Breathing in on the breath out. Here we go. Tucking under, squeezing those glutes. Up we come. Tucking under, drawing the abs in, rolling the shoulders back and down. And then this final time, we're going to go down and we're going to come out into a full plank. As always, choose whichever variation you like to roll with. Forearms, knees, anything like that. Here we go. Breathing in on the breath out. Chin to chest. Shoulders come forward. And we're coming down, we're coming down. Head is heavy. I'm bending through my knees and I'm going to walk out into my full plank. So I'm just making sure that my hands are under my shoulders, or if you're down on your forearms, your elbows are under your shoulders, and my hips are creating this lovely long line through the body, drawing the belly button in. Setting the shoulders down, but squeezing through the shoulder blades. So I'm this lovely long lengthened position. And of course, making sure the head is part of that too. So I'm letting my head hang down. Okay, I'm sort of drawing the belly button in. So remember, if you're here, just make sure your hips are forward. You're not back here. And you're also, please do not go here. Please, please. Okay. I'm just going to start doing some little rocking movements forward and back. So just coming over the hands and then taking it back. And again, coming over the hands and taking it back. I've got a tiny incy bend in my, what are they called? Elbows, just to keep the triceps engaged and just to protect my elbows too, because I'm slightly hypermobile through my elbows. Lots of people are, so just be aware that you're not locking out through those elbows. Let's go for another 4, just like so. Drawing that belly button in, keeping the abs active, keeping the lower back out of it. Last 2. Okay, last time. And then just letting the knees drop. You can come back into a child's pose if you like, or just sit back and just circle those wrists for a moment, taking the pressure off. Maybe just rolling through the shoulders. I got my mic in a slightly different position today, just because I know the last few videos there have been times when it's kind of gone. So I'm really hoping that this works, but if you see me kind of awkwardly moving around, it's just because I'm very aware that the microphone is there, and I'm just hoping that it behaves itself. So fingers crossed, microphone is all good today. I'm going to come back into a position on my hands, but this time it's going to be in 4-point kneeling. I'm going to tuck my toes, make sure your knees are under your hips, head is long, breathing in, on the breath out, belly button to spine, lifting the knees up, and here we are, holding here. Again, a little bit of a bend into the elbows, keeping it all relaxed. And from here, I'm going to try and stay as even as I can through my hips, but it's quite difficult. I'm going to come forward with one hand, forward with the other hand, and then back. And each time I do this, I'm going to try and lead with a different hand, going forward and also going back. I'm going to try and keep my knees nice and close to the floor as well if I can. Forward and back. Please keep breathing. Option, just to hold. Just hold this position. Trying to strengthen through here and just making sure that your shoulders aren't creeping up. If even holding is difficult, no problem, but you're building up, right? So just don't worry about that. You can drop your knees down, breathing in and breathing out, coming up. breathing into lower, and breathing out. So there should be options for all, which is just great. Okay, let's just go for another 2 of these forward and back movements. I can also feel my legs working. And then I'm going to walk all the way out, find my full plank position again, and I'm just going to hold here, drawing the belly button in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Dropping the knees, child's pose, lengthening the arms out, letting the head just relax, and breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, good, good. And then rolling back up through the spine. Okay, this time we're going to all be down, all of us. We're going to be down onto our forearms just to give the wrist a little bit of a break. So here I come. Down like so, just making sure the elbows are underneath the shoulders. And I'm going to lengthen out into my full plank position. Here I'm trying to engage a little bit more for my lower abs. So I'm just going to take one foot out to the side and then bring it back in. Then the other side, breathing out and breathing in. Breathing out and breathing in. Belly button to spine. Breathing out and breathing in. Making sure the shoulders are relaxed. Option just to hold, of course, no problem. Let's go for 5 and 4 and 3. Last 2. Last one, holding here. I'm going to drop the knees down and then lift them back up again. Dropping the knees down and lifting up. Let's go for 5. Still breathing. 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last time. And then knees can drop. And again, finding maybe a child's pose or whatever position you need to just for a moment, just to relax out a little bit. Shake it through the shoulders, all that jazz. Nice. Okay, from here, I'm going to come down onto my bum. And we're going to carry on with this a little bit more ab work before we get down onto the floor. I mean, we are on the floor, but you know what I mean. Really on the floor. Not sleeping, but close to it. Okay, I'm going to have my feet just bent like, my legs bent like so. Knees parallel, hip width apart, and my feet are flexed back towards me. I'm going to lengthen my arms out nice and long. Imagine someone's just lightly holding onto the fingertips, sitting up nice and tall, but relaxing through the shoulders. So I'm actually going to do a straight back lean today instead of, well, I'm going to do a round back one as well, but we're going to start with straight back. So it's a little bit different to normal. Normally I'm like tuck the tailbone under, separate shoulder blades. This time, sitting up nice and tall, I want you just to hinge back from your pelvis. So I'm going all the way back like so, the head is staying in line. And then I'm coming back up. Now some of you may find it easier to cross your arms over to do this. And what I do like about the crossed arm position is that you're quite aware of what's happening with your shoulders, whether or not they're kind of like jumping up like this. So try and keep them down. So you can cross your arms like this, or you can keep them in front. Totally up to you. Just be aware of what is going on with the body. What is going on? Up tall. Here we go. I'm going to breathe in as I hinge. Head is staying in line. So imagine someone's holding my fingers, and breathing out as I come back up. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. If you would like to go for a little bit more of an advanced option, you can lengthen your legs out just like so. Remember that the hip flexors can bite a little bit, and so that's why we started with the legs bent like this. So you can carry on with that option, no problem. Again, I'm hinging back, really feeling everything engage here. Breathing out, belly button to spine, coming up again. And again, breathing into lower. Trying to relax through the chest if you can, holding here and coming up. And I'm just going to go for one more. Coming down. And from here, I'm just going to hold. So it doesn't matter if your arms are here or here. I want you to take your arms out to the side, present yourself to the god of abs, and then come back in. And again, breathing out. Drawing your belly button to your spine. Everything's shaking here. Breathing in. No zoom in feature on that camera, thank goodness. Good, coming out. and coming in, and one more time, coming out, relaxing the shoulders, head is in line, and then we're coming up. Cool, cool. Straight into obliques, I believe. So I'm going to bend the legs to start with, and I'm going to have a little bit of a bend, almost sort of balletic arms, but don't worry about that. From here, I'm going to imagine someone's pulling on this hand. So this hand's going to stay in front, and then I'm just going to open out to the side. Now this time I am going to tuck my tailbone. So tucking the tailbone under, rolling back through your spine vertebra per vertebra, and we're going to go for a twist as well, which is just great. And this arm is reaching back, opening through the chest. I'm looking at those fingers, so I'm not like looking in some other direction. And from here I'm coming all the way up, and I'm going to do the same side. Let's come down, opening out, reaching, 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 and then coming in. And again, coming down, opening up. Good, good, good. Now, if you want to go for something a little bit more fun, you can lengthen out through this other leg like so. Imagine someone's pulling the fingers and the toes in opposite directions. It's good for the coordination as well. Coming down, lifting up, and coming in. I'm going to go for two more like so. Coming down, lifting up. Good. And then last time, coming down. And I'm just going to go with my leg up and down. If you haven't got your leg up, you can do this with your hand instead. Totally up to you. You can even do it with both if you want. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly coming up, resetting the shoulders, and let's do the other side. So tucking under, opening out, reaching, reaching, and then coming back in. So you want to imagine that you're taking your hand through your thick peanut butter with Lindt 90% chocolate, or maybe just thinking about some thick mud or sticky toffee might do it for you. So there's resistance working against you. I'm going to go for my leg lift with a nice pointed toe just for a bit of flair. Coming under, opening up, reaching back, and coming up again. Let's go for 3 like so. Reaching, reaching. Making sure the shoulder is still staying down away from the ears. Good, last 2. Really separating the shoulder blades, and you can go down as far as you feel comfortable. Last time, I'm going to hold here. So this is where we do this, or we do this, or we do both. Up and down. Still imagine someone's pulling these fingers this way. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm coming all the way up. I'm just going to let my knees just come out to the side so I can relax a little bit through those hips. Okay. Let's carry on. We're going to come down all the way to the floor. So I'm going to lengthen my legs out in front, arms are out in front of me, and very slowly in our Pilates manner, I'm just going to tuck my tailbone under, and slowly, vertebra per vertebra, come down to the floor. You can see everything kind of engaging here as I come down. Might be a little bit shaky about here. Nice. And then I'm going to take my arms up and over the head. And I'm just going to have a moment here. Just a moment where I just let everything just relax really heavy into the floor. So my chest is relaxed. I've got a little bit of engagement with the floor. So I can feel not my abs working in like an exercise sort of engagement way, but just in a they're there. There's some level of activation going on across here. Just holding here, letting my arms just relax, heavy. Legs are heavy as well. Breathing in and out. Think about breathing into the front of your body, into the sides of your rib cage, and into your back. So really expanding through the chest. Okay, and then just carefully bring the arms down. And from here, we're going to go into a bridge series. So hopefully now that we've been lying down and we've been relaxing, we actually should be in a neutral spine position. So it's our natural lying position where we don't feel too squashed into the floor, but we also don't have a big arch into our back. So there's just that small pocket of air or that little space for a blueberry to fit underneath your back. So that's really where you want to start with the with the lying position for the bridge, but then we do go straight into that tilt where we press the lower back down. And I'm drawing your attention to your neutral spine because I want you to feel the difference. Because when you're standing up normally, we don't want to have this tuck going on. We definitely don't want this either. Most of us kind of end up more of this position, even standing. And I'd love it if we could all walk around in our neutral spine, myself included. So we're trying to strengthen that position. So I really want you to feel the difference between the neutral and then going into the tilt. So we've got the neutral and then we've got the tilt. And you may feel your abs straight away kind of come on as soon as you do that. Don't do it that fast. Just trying to make a point. Okay, enough of me rambling. So my legs are parallel. I'm going to just go for that tilt. I can feel my tailbone slightly lift up. I'm going to let it do that. I'm going to squeeze both my glutes and I'm going to slowly come up, one vertebra at a time, up into my bridge. I'm going to breathe in at the top and then on the breath out very carefully, I'm going to allow that spine to come back down to the floor, lengthening through the back and allowing my tailbone to come down last, and then just finding that neutral spine again at the bottom. So here we go, tilting, squeezing and pushing both my hips up towards the ceiling, breathing in and then on the breath out, melting all the way down. Okay, this last time I'm going to tilt, I'm going to come up, holding here. I'm going to bring my right leg up into tabletop, trying to keep this nice lifted, even position. Okay, this leg is up. How fantastic. So I'm going to just bring this knee into my chest and then I'm going to extend it away. Knee into chest and extending away. And like before when we were doing the oblique set, I want you to think that you're taking your leg through something denser in the air. So there's some resistance working against you. If you look down your body, hopefully you see nice even knees when we're in this position and always nice even hips. Going out and coming in, I can really feel my supporting glute. It is starting to work. Good, good, good. Okay, let's go for just 4 more like so. It's good getting this movement going on through the hip as well. Last 3. Last 2. Now last one, extending the leg out, bringing the leg all the way up, flexing the foot, and I'm just going to start to pulse the heel up towards the ceiling. We're going to go for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to hold here. I'm going to rise up onto my toes. So I'm on demi point. I'm going to push this heel up even higher, and I'm just going to hold here for a final 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And coming down. So hopefully we weren't holding our breath the whole time, just holding the position. Okay, so for me, I was working my left leg, so that was the leg on the floor, and I'm going to continue to work it now. So I'm going to roll over to my side so that my left leg, so for you, I think it's your left leg too, if I said correctly, to set up using your right leg in the air. Basically just use the same leg, okay? So I'm going to come into this position where I've got my elbow underneath my shoulder and I'm lifted up through here. And I'm going to slide in sort of clamshell position. Heels are together. Everything is stacked. Really important to use these obliques. And I'm just going to lengthen out through this leg. And I'm going to manage someone slightly pulling the leg out of its socket in the nicest way possible, so that I keep that lift here, because if I kind of let this happen, then I automatically sort of drop down. So I'm trying to stay lifted. Okay, from here I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to point my toe, I'm going to bring my leg forward, and then I'm going to breathe out, flexing the foot and taking it back in line with the body. And again, coming forward, breathing in, and breathing out, taking it back. Bringing it forward, and bringing it back. Bringing it forward and bringing it back. Going through that lovely imaginary resistance. Forward and back. So hopefully the leg already did get nicely activated. So the glute should be saying hello already. Now some of you will have the flexibility in your hip to come all the way forward, and some of you won't, and that's fine. You just go wherever you can go, where you feel like something's going on, but you're not coming so far forward that this ends up happening, okay? Or you lose that nice lift. Rightio, let's go for another 2, just like so. And then last time, I'm going to bring the leg back to here. I'm going to breathe out. I've got my foot flexed, and I'm just going to lift the leg up, 45 degrees, ow, and breathe into lower. And again, breathing out to lift. I've got weight all the way from my elbow down to my fingers. Breathing out to lift and breathing into lower. Breathing out to lift and breathing into lower. Good, good, good. Squeezing those glutes. Trying to keep relaxed through the bottom leg, so I should be able to actually wiggle the toes of my bottom foot. Nice and easy, no problems there. Let's go for 3. Last 2. Last one, we're going to hold it. I'm going to point the toe, and I'm actually going to press into my bottom leg. I'm going to lift my hip. I'm going to extend my top arm if I can. If you do need to, you can rest gently, fingertips here or have it here. And from here, I'm just going to do circles round and round, trying to stay nice and still with the rest of my body. It's only the leg that's moving. Wee-hee, round and round. And then back the other way, round and round here as well. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg forward a little bit more, holding, maybe forward a little bit more, still not losing that lovely stacked hip position. One more time, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down. Okay, I'm going to come right down onto the floor, and I'm going to cross this leg over like so. And I'm just going to push out onto the knee. Ooh, you can feel that stretch all the way there. Sometimes doing the stretch can feel just as great as it did doing the exercise itself. That's very normal. And breathing. And then I'm going to completely cross the knees over, and again just pull the legs into my chest. Feeling that wrap around. Okay, and the great news is that we get to do it all over again. So, other leg this time. So making sure you do the other leg, otherwise you will know about it later. I've got my right leg on, well, my right leg will be the one which stays on the floor this time. So I'm going to do it for that tilt of the pelvis. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, peeling all the way up. Hips are nice and even. And then I'm going to bring this leg, the leg which has just done all the fun stuff, up into tabletop. Okay, so from here I'm going to bring the knee into the chest, and then I'm going to extend it away. And I straight away do happen to feel a little bit of a hip stretch as I come in here. It's because I am quite tight through this left-hand side. So you may feel something like that as well. We're trying to get this guy here to really activate. Send it away, and then coming in. Sending it away, and then coming in. Good, good, good. Out, and in, and out, and in. And you may find one side it's a lot easier to do this. Again, that's very normal. One side's easier than the other. Making sure we're still breathing. Let's go for 3 like so. Really keeping still through this opposite side. Last 2. Okay, I'm going for 1 more. Then I'm going to extend the leg up. I'm going to flex the foot, and I'm going to start to just pulse my hips up. Ooh, hello, I can really feel that. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, holding here. And I'm going to lift the toes up, so I'm on demi point, pressing up a little bit more to the ceiling with both hips, because there's always room. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way down, but not resting too much. I'm just going to flip over so that I'm still facing you to do the other side. You just need to turn around or come to the other end of your mat. Okay, sitting up, so I've got my elbow under my shoulder and I'm also still putting some weight into my hand here. Okay, so I've got that nice clam position with the legs. I'm lifted just there, and I'm going to put the opposite hand here so I'm just aware of what is going on through my hips. There's not too much movement through the pelvis. And I'm just going to extend this leg out, pointing the toe, ready to begin, breathing in as I bring the leg forward, and then breathing out as I flex the foot and take it back to start. And again, coming forward, breathing in, and breathing out as I bring the leg back, forward, and back. Going through my crunchy peanut butter. Coming forward and back. Making sure we're still lifted through here and there's someone gently pulling on those toes so we're just nice and long through the leg. And back. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, good, good. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's go for another 3. Last 2. Remember, your range may be different on this side. It is for me. Anyway, last 1, coming back. And we're just going to hold here, flexing the foot. We're going to lift the leg up. So breathing out to lift. Woof, doesn't have to go far. Breathing in to lower. And again, breathing out to lift up. And breathing in to lower. Here we go, lifting up. I can feel my obliques working too, which is fantastic. Coming up and down. Let's go for another 5, like so. Whew. Last 4, make sure the shoulders are relaxed as well, and the head is just on the diagonal, so it's just kind of hanging out there, no tension. Last 2. Now last time I'm going to hold up. I am going to point the toe, I'm going to lift through the hip, holding here, little circles, just round and round, trying to keep nice and even. Reaching this arm up if you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then back the other way for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding here, hips up, bring it forward a little bit more. I'm just going to hang here for a little bit. Things may be shaken. Coming forward again a little bit, holding here. And then last time coming forward and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bringing the leg in, coming down to the floor. Oof, and crossing the leg over and going for a bit of a stretch. Pushing out on the knee. You can feel that really wrap around there. And just breathing. Nice. We're nice and even now. Thank goodness for that. And then crossing the legs like so, pulling them in towards you. Relaxing through the shoulders. As you pull your legs in, think about just trying to open through your lower back as well. It should feel quite nice. Excellent stuff. Okay, and then from here, just bringing the soles of the feet together, letting the knees come out to the side, and we'll just hold here just for a moment, just to let gravity sort of do its thing, and just allow those knees just to fall out gently towards the floor, breathing the whole time, and just relaxing. Still trying to let my back kind of fall down to the floor a little bit more. Good, good, good. Breathing, breathing, breathing. And then from here, very carefully, just bringing those legs back together. Okay, while we're here on the floor, why not? I'd like you just to relax your hands down by your side. Find that neutral spine position where you just feel like you're quite relaxed, just in your natural state. We're going to breathe in on the breath out. Draw the belly button in, lifting one leg up into tabletop and then the other. So if doing that you've managed to maintain neutral, that's fantastic. Otherwise, I do teach a little bit of an imprinted spine position, just so that you avoid doing this because you're using your back. So if you do push a little bit more into the floor in order to be able to hold your tabletop, then I'm cool with that, as long as you're cool with that, and you should hopefully feel your abs engage a little bit more. Please feel free to message me anytime about the differences between these positions, or if you don't quite understand what I'm talking about in general maybe as well. So from here, I'm in tabletop. I'm going to go for some toe taps. So I'm going to breathe in as I lower one leg down on the 90-degree angle, and I'm going to breathe out as I use my abs to bring the leg up. I'm working against gravity. Breathing into lower and breathing out to come up. Breathing into lower and breathing out, belly button to spine to come up. So you can only go, sorry, let me start that sentence again. You can go just to here if that works for you. You do not have to go all the way down to the floor. If you feel like you're kind of losing control, no losing control here, thank you. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, your arms can be here. And if you want even more of a challenge, you can actually take your arms back behind you. And I just want you to avoid doing this. So you're trying to keep this part nice and still and stable, just hovering the arms just above the floor. You should be able to feel your abs activate just that little bit harder, which is obviously the aim of the game here. So I'm breathing in to lower, breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower, don't lose control through the pelvis. No one wants an out of control pelvis. Actually, just thought of all these funny things I could say about that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to refrain. So they're not going to be funny if I say them out loud. Last time, like so. You can continue doing the one leg option, no problem, but if you'd like to, knees and feet together, let's do both legs. Breathing in to come down, and then breathing out to come back up. Breathing in to lower, and breathing out to come up, pushing your lower back down into the floor. Breathing into lower and breathing out. So you can see for me as well, like my range is not quite as great. I could go all the way down here, but I feel that's a lot of pressure going into my lower back, and I prefer not to fatigue myself too much, just in case I decide that we're going to do 20 more of these. We're not, but anyway, you don't know. Let's go for 4. 4 is a little bit more reasonable, I think. Make sure you're still drawing that belly button in. If your range needs to be a bit smaller, you can adjust accordingly, and please feel free to adjust your arms as well if you need to. I think this is the last 2. And then last time, and my arms are all ready just to grab hold of my legs and give them a little bit of a hug and go for a little bit of a circle in one direction and then in the opposite direction. And then I'm just going to bring myself up using obviously a little bit of momentum that time. And I'm going to come into a 4-point position. I'm just going to work through some cat stretches, just seeing as we were doing a lot of stuff, trying to hold our spine nice and still. So 4-point kneeling. I'm going to bring my chin to my chest, opening through my shoulder blades, big arc through the spine. Breathing in as I hold, and then on the breath out, going the other way. Sticking the tailbone out. Not forcing the stretch at all and not bringing my head up too high either, just trying to relax through the shoulders. And again, coming up. Head relaxes, drawing the belly button in, and then going the other way. And then let's just go for 1 more in each direction. So you don't want to push yourself to feeling uncomfortable. But if you do have some stiffness and you feel like you can work through a little bit more, then please go for it. But just be careful. Always be careful with the back, with the spine. Okay, and then just relaxing through there for me. Okay, so from here we are going to just have a little bit of a push-up time just to finish off. So you're more than welcome to do this up on your toes or down on your knees. I'm actually going to do it on my knees today. So I'm in 4-point, and I'm going to just walk my hands forward. I'm going to go like another 2 hands in front of me. So it looks a bit strange at the moment. And then from here, I'm going to just bring my pelvis forward, so I'm in this lovely diagonal. Now for this one, I am going to be bringing my elbows quite close in to get triceps. So just please be aware of the difference of taking your arms out here and taking them here. The way I've set you up with your hands, which is just parallel, it is not ideal to take your elbows out here. This is sort of a funny position for your hands. So please do try the tricep variation that I'd love you to work through now. Basically, please just do what I say. But you don't have to go very far, okay? So from here, you can just do a little tiny bend, breathing in, lowering the body down to the floor, and then breathing out to push up. It doesn't have to be huge. If this ends up being too much though, anytime you do tricep push-ups, you can just do them in 4-point kneeling like so, which obviously is less challenge for the core. Just coming down like so, tucking the elbows in towards the midline and pressing up. So this is a great, great option, which I sometimes just do anyway instead, for working those triceps. But if we're here, or if you're up on your toes, that's fantastic, but just each to their own. Draw the belly button in, head is nicely lined up, coming down, and then coming up. Let's not do this on my bracelet, that's just an added challenge. Okay, coming down, and then coming up. Really push into the palms of the hands, tucking the elbows in by the side, and then coming up. Drawing the belly button in, breathing in, and breathing out. And as you can see, I'm not even really going that far, but it's a movement full of quality. I can tell you that for free. So squeeze those elbows in by the side, pushing into the hands. I can really feel the triceps working. Let's go for 3. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2. Breathing in and breathing out. And the last time I'm going to come down, I'm going to go for a little bit of a hold. It doesn't have to be all the way, just to here, so there is a bend in the elbows. And we're going to go for a little bit of a pulse up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Belly button in, breathing for 3, 2, and 1. And then coming all the way up. Lengthening those arms nice and long. Relaxing the head. And very carefully just going to roll up through the spine. I'm going to take my arms up towards the ceiling, pushing up with my hands. And then let's just work through one arm, pushing down on the elbow like so. And then the other side, swapping over. Good, good, good. Okay, and we're just going to have a little bit of an opening through the hips, just because we have been doing quite a lot of ab stuff, and quads and hips love to help out, as well as your lower back. So coming forward into this position, and all I want you to do is just go for a little bit of a tuck under here. So I'm almost leaning back, but nothing crazy, just a little bit of a lean. Tucking under here, and I'm squeezing my left butt so that I can open through the left hip flexor. And I'm just going to hold here, and we should feel quite an effective stretch through that side. Just breathing. And then we're actually just going to change over and do the same thing on the other side. So it's almost like you are doing nothing. If you need to put a cushion or something, or roll up the mat a little bit underneath your supporting this knee, please go for it. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. So with this, you're thinking about lengthening up, tucking under, squeezing this glute. And just breathing, relaxing the shoulders. Good, good, good. Okay, and then from here, finding my favorite Asian squat position. So doesn't matter if your heels are still up, that's fine. Remember, you can take your legs as wide as you like, but we're trying to achieve this sort of position where we can just hang out here, have a few good conversations, maybe eat some food. My knees are in line with my toes, so they're not falling in towards the midline. As you can see, I've got my arms pressed into them as well, which is giving me this lovely opening through the lower back as well as through the hips themselves, which is just fantastic. So yeah, I'm just hanging out here. We won't stay here forever though. So really dropping the bum down low, and then I'm just going to bring my weight forward a little bit so I can press my hands down to the floor, and I'm lengthening through the legs, letting the head drop. I'm going to walk my feet in a little bit more to parallel. I can bend my elbows. You don't have to bend your elbows. You can also just hold on to your elbows like this, but I want you to think about really trying to just drop down to the floor, feeling nice and heavy.
Breathing in, and on the breath out, pushing into the heels, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone under, and we are rolling up vertebra by vertebra, all the way up, drawing the belly button in, rolling through those shoulders. And that is us all done. Thank you so much for joining me in class today.